Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this morning. Got a big show lined up, but first, our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. High today is 74 and low is 54. Water temperature has dropped one more degree now down to 74, so that's slowly creeping down. River readings, Apalachicola, Bluntstown, 0.5, as it has been for a long time, brought to us by Watson's Landing Marina. Choctahatchee at Caryville, 1.6, and we're looking at the tide chart. Today is Wednesday, November the 9th, and we have sort of a neat tide, really the rest of the, not really strong tides the rest of a couple of days. And next week, some really good tides, but if you look at Thanksgiving week, we got a lot of neat tides on Thanksgiving week, so be aware of that. All right, the marine forecast, we're looking at coming out northeast at about 8, okay? So we're going to try to get a fishing report from Sea Quarters Marina. Good morning, Chuck.
Morning, Winston.
How's everything going down there?
Everything's fine. Sun shining. Got a little breeze on the water. Pretty cool this morning, though.
Well, that's good. I guess first thing I want to ask about, have y'all had any rain down there lately?
We hadn't had any rain here in Carabel in over 60 days.
Oh, my goodness.
It's extremely dry.
Wow. Well, I know that's not going to slow down those old hardcore fishermen, though, is it?
No, sir. No, the trout fishing and the red fishing in the bay is still good. It's people doing real good. A lot of bull reds being caught. Okay,
tell our folks how the folks down there catch your redfish and trout. What technique do they use?
Well, the technique a lot of people use here is just popping cork with either a grub or a live shrimp, or even the frozen shrimp under it. Then you have those that fish with a dead shrimp or live shrimp on a jig head, just bumping it on the bottom. Both ways seem to produce pretty good catch. Been a lot of limits of redfish and trout coming in, so fishermen are pretty happy.
Well, that's good. That's good news. Now they can go back there out in the bay or back behind St. George Island.
Behind St. George Island, behind Dog Island, Lanark Reef has been producing real well. The trout and redfish aren't in the river yet, but it's not too long. We'll probably a couple more weeks, and we'll start seeing some up in the river.
Okay, around Thanksgiving then they'll be headed up the river a little bit.
Oh yes, sir.
Okay, have any freshwater guys? Have they been catching any brim or bass or?
Oh Lord, yes. the freshwater guys are just having a banner day on the brim. Either using worms or crickets. Some of them prefer the beetle spins, but it seems like worms and crickets are the best. But all the river tributaries and creeks, they're doing real well.
Man, you get me excited. I just want to come on down there right now and go fishing.
I hear you, man. All you need to do is go.
All right, buddy. Thank you very much.
Offshore fishing's been slow because it's been too windy. The seas have been too rough to go offshore.
Yeah, we figured that same way up here. It's just too rough off there, but inshore and freshwater has been good.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Chuck.
All right, Winston. Y'all have a good day now.
All right. We'll take a break and be right back. All right, folks, good morning again and welcome back to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Rick Corley.
Good morning.
We're sitting here talking about, of all things, traffic situation. You know, I may bring it up every now and then, but on occasion we get tricked a little bit if we don't go in the area and then all of a sudden a stop sign pops up or something, and that's what happened to you.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, I did. Well, I hadn't been down 15th Street to Michigan, that way by Lake Huntington, probably since I was back in college days.
Okay, this is around the St. Andrew Baptist Church area in St. Andrew. That's that area we're talking about.
So I had turned back in 15th and went west, and before I knew it, there's a stop sign. And it's on a dead-end street. It's on Cincinnati. It dead ends. It's an all-way stop, 4 ways. And I thought, so I slowed down to about a half mile an hour, got in second, and started on up the hill. I get to the top of the hill there, deer, and it's an always stop again, and it's on a driveway. You know, and I stopped at that one because I thought, well, in less than, 600 feet, you got 2 stop signs from a traffic light. So before I realized it, here's a police officer behind me. He writes me a ticket for.
You got a blue light?
Oh yeah.
Oh, my
yeah. In fact, I thought he was going to hit me in the rear end, but he come flying up there, and so when he walked up, he said, "Did you know you ran that stop sign?" I said, "I did a rolling stop because I almost didn't see it, and because I wasn't expecting it there." I said, "What is the deal with these 2 signs within 2 blocks of each other, one on a dead-end street and the other on a driveway?" He said, "Well, they had speeders and they're using it to control speed." And I thought, wait a minute, you're not supposed to use stop signs for that. That's not what, you use speed bumps for that. Well, they didn't want to do that, and there were some people here that wanted this, and it was put in by one of the city commissioners way back, not the one we got now. But so I said, well, this is ridiculous. I said, the bottom line is I'm doing a half mile an hour in a 0 mile an hour speed limit. Mm-hmm. The speed limit in that area is 30 miles an hour. If I'd have been doing 30 and a half, he wouldn't have written me a ticket in between. But because I was doing a half mile an hour over 0, I got a ticket. Now, the other thing is I have a problem with this because I went to the engineering office for traffic at Panama City, and I got their rules.
You got the rules and regulations?
I got their rules right here. And the rules say that stop signs are the last resort. And they have to have an engineering study. They have to have a traffic count. None of those things are done. I checked. The other thing is, they are not to be used on things like for private drives, and there's no need for it. They didn't follow their own rules at all, and they've been there apparently for a long time. So I went back Sunday when people were going to church and made a count myself. 5 out of 6 cars do rolling stops at those stop signs. And it states in this rule book right here, one of the reasons they don't like using the stop signs is it actually kind of promotes speeding in between the stop signs to make up the difference. Okay. It also destroys your fuel economy. There's a lot of reasons it explains, and I won't go into long detail, but I'm going to the city commission after I leave here. They got a meeting. We're actually taping a day early, but I'm going. And I'm going to raise a little cane because I don't think it was right. I think it cost me money that shouldn't. I've been flying, driving, and running boats and ships since 1958. 14 years old, I had a learner's permit and I was driving. I was also running my dad's tug because you didn't have to have a license then, and he taught me how to run a tugboat. I also was taking flying lessons with Johnny Reaver on 11th Street at the time. I've been flying. I got 10,800 hours of flying, no accidents. I got almost 900,000 miles driving, no accidents. 3 tickets. I got 1 ticket for drag racing in Springfield when I was in high school.
We all did that.
Oh yeah, that broke me of that habit because that was expensive. Then I made an illegal left turn in Lauderdale on vacation, and the palm fronds had blocked the sign, and had I gone back and fought that, I would have won it, but it was a $75 ticket. I just paid it and went on. Price of doing business. And now this one. The other thing is, I have a problem with the mindset that I was seeing out of this, and I don't blame the officer. He's doing what he's trained to do. But when I was in the Coast Guard, for example, if I walked down a dock and I saw a man with his wife and children there, and he didn't have a throw device in the boat, I took an oath that says I will protect and serve. If I saw he didn't have a throw device, I would stop and say, excuse me, sir, do you have a throw device? Because I don't see one. If he said no, I said, well, don't turn loose the dock. Go get one. Because right now you're not illegal. But if you turn loose this dock and get underway, you are. Well, no, I can't go back to my boss and say, look what I did. I caught a real criminal. I caught a man and his wife out there without a throw device. However, the mindset these days is more like well, if we'll wait 5 minutes, he'll get underway. I can catch him.
Yeah.
That's wrong. That makes you an adversary. They ought to be trying to protect people, especially in a tourist town. And this is a tourist town whether we want
Well,
like it
a
or
lot of
not.
times, hopefully, the situation getting warnings and all. That's really the ideal case for just for warnings.
Sure.
Police don't do this
If
anymore.
he'd have checked my driving record, he'd have found out. I mean, gee whiz.
Okay.
I got 56,000 hours underway on ships too.
Yeah.
I think I can operate machinery pretty safe.
Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. See, we're Captain Rick Corley, who done having trouble in the air on the water, but got in trouble on land.
Yeah. Apparently, I can't drive a car. Anyway.
We'll let them know next
Yeah,
show
we'll let
how
them
things turned out.
how it turned out. But I think, really and truly, that those two stop signs do not need to be there. If they got a problem there, they need to put in speed bumps or yield signs. But it's a speed trap.
Okay.
Remind me of Ludwig when I was in the Army over at Fort Stewart, Savannah.
Okay, here we go. Move on. We got some announcements and really good pictures for today also. This coming November 19th, which will be not this weekend, but next weekend, it's going to be the grand opening of the shooting range. Now, it's going to be from 9 o'clock. It starts at 9. The first 200 people get a free hat.
When is that?
That's going to be November the 19th.
I want to be there if I can for that.
Yes, and we've
That's
talked.
a really nice range. If they haven't been out there, it's well run. It's well maintained, and it's really a nice facility.
And they look at the youth activities, the archery, BB gun range, K9 presentations, Smoke the Bear, bounce houses, and then adults, all kind of things going on for adults. The SWAT team's going to be shooting at 12:30. Now that'll be interesting watching the SWAT team. So here's a map. A lot of folks ask where it's at. You go up Highway 7 and 9.
Steelfield.
Take a left to Steelfield, okay? And we'll show you. We'll talk about that some more, though, next week. But go and put it on the calendar if you're going to be in town. All right. Here's the next one. This is Buck at St. Andrews State Park. Here, I'm going to let you read the email because I love these kind of emails. My name is Lauren Gowdy. My wife, Star, and I moved to Lynn Haven from Cecil, Alabama, just outside of Montgomery, a year ago. We sold the farm, 70 acres, and moved to the beach. I do miss hunting on my land in Alabama, but I love it here. A few weeks ago, my wife and I were walking on the beach at sunset at St. Andrews State Park and noticed a buck standing on a sand dune. I took this shot and thought you might like it and might want to air it on your morning show. I watch your show every morning and really enjoy it. Thanks, Lauren. And now, isn't that a beautiful shot right there?
Oh, yeah.
Great picture.
There's several deer out there,
Yes.
and Babs and I used to paddle around the lagoon in a canoe. And,
Yes, that is really nice.
And we paddled down there one day, and one was swimming out to us. And back then she smoked. I said, "Let me have one of your cigarettes." She said, "What do you do?" I said, "He's looking for something to eat." And I said, "He'll eat tobacco. They love tobacco."
Yeah.
And I took a cigarette and did that with the tobacco. Took the paper, and the filter off, and just did it, and held it out. He swam right up and ate right out of my hand in the canoe.
How about
and then
that?
turned around and went back to the beach. He had done that before because he knew something was out there to eat.
Okay, next picture. This coming out of Sandy Creek. Great time with the kids at Sandy Creek. Thanks, we did a video on it last week. Thanks for the advice, Coach. We love the show. We're an Air Force family that's new to the area and enjoying the outdoors here.
Appreciate your service.
Yes, sir. Pictured here is a slot red caught by my son Cole with the help from his little sister Tally. Now, I sent him an email back. I said, that is a framer.
Yep.
What I call a framer, that's that picture you take like this of, of the kids. And you still going to have that picture on the table when those kids are grown. The picture will still be there because that's a great picture. And I'm glad you're here in Panama City. And again, we appreciate all of what you do and all of our servicemen and women, okay?
Yep.
All right, Bill Lemonak, okay, fly fishing. This Thursday, November 10th, they're having their fly fishing club meeting at 6:30 at Lake Huntington Clubhouse. They're going to have a potluck dinner in December. If you're interested in any kind of fly fishing, just tying flies. And you can see right here, these flies, and Bill is an excellent fly tyer. These are spoon flies. They're actually tying a fly that looks like a gold spoon.
Yeah.
And that's some great redfish bait right there. So that's going to be at the Lake Huntington Clubhouse, which is over there.
Yeah, that's right.
Close to St. Andrew Baptist Church.
Yes, in other words, it's on that road I had the problem.
Yeah, the road you had a problem on.
15th Street goes between. It's right down 15th Street, right by Lake Huntington.
Diane Boy sent this to me. We'll trade for hats. I guess she was talking about the flounder or the rod and reel. I know she talked about the rod and reel and all, but that's a good flounder. And we're going to have to get some hats out before Christmas, Diane. We're going to work on that. But you see the good setup here, what it's called on, and that is it right there. That color, that red head and that white body, that is original. The original guys that started fishing with jigs, that's the color they used.
Yep.
I remember Mr. Howard Barnes, way back in the 60s, started using, or early 70s also, was using a red head and a white body just like that in Crooked Island Sound. And this is where that one was caught, about 50 years later. So that's great.
Up to then, you try to use shrimp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. This is our buddy, Jeremy Sunseri. Look at here. Dr. Sunseri, been on the show before.
Oh, yeah.
And that's his son there. Look at there.
In fact, he should be coming up here for an opening of his new office on 2101 Jinx Avenue.
Great to see he and his family out there fishing. He's a good outdoorsman. And
he's a great doctor.
And he's an outstanding
I mean
doctor.
to tell you, outstanding.
Drew Benton sent this, and this is what he's catching is a bagler bait, and that's one of his big sponsors. But what's interesting about that bass hit that one dead on center. If you look where it's hooked right there. I mean he took both hooks in. Of course they caught and released them, but that's an idea. That's when you got the right bait.
He wasn't going to throw that one.
Well, exactly. when you got the right bait, and when they come in right at the whole body, and a lot of times they'll come in and get that back hook.
Yep.
Well, that one went straight into the body. I thought that was a unique picture there. Yep. Okay, we're going to take our final break and come back and talk about some wooden boats. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, welcome back. We've got a fishing game time for today. This morning at 7:07 and 9:07 is excellent time, and later on, early evening at 7:33 to 9:33. And don't forget, we haven't talked about it much. On Saturday now, the second phase of dove season will be opening up on November 12th. Phase 2 will go to December the 5th. Also, don't forget this Friday also we'll be doing a Veterans Day show. We'll have an interview with Mike Brudnicki, who was in on the invasion of Iwo Jima, and what an amazing story he tells. And it's going to be in honor of all of our veterans, and so be sure and watch it. It's really going to be a two-part presentation. We're going to do the interview on Friday, and then I went out with he and his son Greg and Bill Allen. We went out to East Bay, and I did a whole show on Bill and well, mainly I was showing Mike Brudnicki still fishing at age 90, still catching trout and redfish. So it's really two parts. So that will be on Monday. So we got Friday and Monday with one of our World War II veterans, okay? Now we'll get back to talking about some old stuff, the old wooden carter crafts we just had to show this past weekend. We've got some video coming up. Do you remember those old boats?
Yeah, I've skied behind them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. In fact, back when we were skiing behind them in the late 50s, early 60s, we had the fastest one around here. It was a carter craft with two 60-horse gales, outboards, and would run 47 miles an hour. You could barefoot ski behind it. That's the reason we liked it. But them old gales, they was big around as a 55-gallon. Yeah, big old heavy engine, V4s. And now, I look at some of these 350-horse V8s and I'm saying, wow.
That really is amazing how, how it's changed with horsepower now to what it was then.
Yeah.
And of course back then those were like marine plywood, it was lightweight.
Yep. They were glued and screwed together. In other words, they used bronze screws and they would countersink them. And they were well-built boats. They were light, they were fast. Just about everybody around here did skiing, especially had one.
Yeah, we had a couple of ladies from Panama City that actually went to Cypress Gardens and went into the skiing with Esther Williams and a whole group down there. And they're going to be on an interview too. Tanya, Tanya and Lynn.
Yes.
Tanya Stats and a girl named Lynn. And they skied here at the same time.
Yeah, and another girl that skied there was Linda Carmichael, and can't remember LaRue's last name. And they was Jimmy Sapp, Donnie Long, and I drove the boat a lot. and I'm trying to remember some of them.
Well, those anyway. That's part of our boat building heritage here. We talk about it a lot, how important it is. I know you talked about building a plywood boat out in Grand Lagoon.
Yep.
Everybody, that's why I tell them, a lot of people came in from out of town this past weekend, and I was trying to explain to them it was just normal here. People put all over the country, and all people did different things in the backyard. But here in the backyard, you built a boat.
Yeah.
And you built that boat because that's the only way of transportation you had.
Well, when I was growing up, we had the Motel Marina there where Lighthouse is now. And it was Tom Rick Motel Marina in Grand Lagoon Shipyard. And Dad thought, he's in that generation we were just talking about, World War II and weathered the Depression. So when I was 10 years old, my first job was swimming out and putting blocks under boats at the shipyard. But the other job was to rent 3 Cypress skips that Dad and I built. And we built 4, but I kept one with a 12-horse Wizard on it. So if somebody had a problem or broke down, I could go get them. If they weren't back by the time, I would go find them because I knew roughly where they were. They would tell me where they were going. And if they were broke down, I could go out there and get them and tow them back. But we rented 3 skips.
And those cypress, that cypress was just a good wood.
Oh, yeah, it was great wood. Yeah. Because it holds up. We were using deadhead cypress, which had been sunk, and under the water and mud for 100 years.
And all along the river system, the Choctahatchee, Old Clockney, all little boat landings, you just saw a little group of cypress.
Like down at Appalachia, you'd see what they call lolly boats. Old man Lolly used to build all them oyster boats. They still build them the same way.
Yeah.
Of course, they go in fiberglass now, but back then it was built out of cypress.
Well, Rick, we're about to run out of time again, buddy. It's been fast. We covered a lot of the things today. We got a fishing report from Carol.
Y'all have a good Turkey Day that's coming up.
That's right.
Because I won't be on here until after Turkey Day, and I'm going to go up probably to Greensboro with the in-laws and get in a coma again after eating too much turkey.
Okay. All right. Folks, y'all have a great day. As always, I ask you to do something good for your fellow man. Don't mean it's some little thing or something big. Just always help out your fellow man. You have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.